on this week's episode of Marketing O'Clock.
At the Creator Summit, for those hit by the HCU, some are saying Google's gave SEOs a big FU.
Google is making sneaky edits. You now have to manually apply promo credits.
And we're chit-chatting about ChatGPT Search.
Oh.
I don't have a rhyme.
On today's show.
Welcome, you are listening to Marketing O'Clock. Just stay tuned. Digital marketing news, but let's get specific. Digital ads, SEO and analytics, social media and more. Pretty much everything that'll make your website perform. With new shows every Friday. We give you the news with sass and puns and definitely hot takes. Thank you for tuning in. You know what time it is. It's officially Marketing O'Clock. Settle in, sit back, keep it locked.
Hey there, I'm Christine Zernheld.
AKA Shep.
I'm Julia Matier,
And I'm Greg Finn.
and it's officially Marketing O'Clock.
Here on November 8th, 2024. And before we get into the news this week, we want to thank AdsVisor for sponsoring today's show. AdsVisor is a simple tool that allows you to analyze your marketing metrics across all of your favorite ad platforms. And if you are bogged down with building reports for clients, this takes so much of that work off of your plate. Like, I'm just in that place lately where I don't have time to build reports. Like, I need to do work. Do you guys ever feel that way? And then the reports are just like piling it up.
But some of the reports are the work. And it's just like you need better help with the reports.
I want to do the work. I want AdsVisor to help me with the reports. And that is exactly what it does. It unlocks conversational insights with ChatGPT to in-depth analysis in Google Sheets and powerful visualizations in Looker Studio. So my favorite part about AdsVisor is that it is designed, I feel like, just for marketers like me. Like, I love strategy. I love being in the ad platforms. But like I said, building those reports, not my favorite thing to do. And confession time, I'm not super savvy with ChatGPT. So I get a little nervous when you talk about like custom GPTs and stuff like that. I kind of use it for the basic stuff. But AdsVisor makes it so easy with their resources. So first of all, they have an amazing YouTube channel where Gu, the founder, is just walking you through how to do everything in AdsVisor. So they have a video on how to build reports from scratch in Looker Studio, building your own marketing GPTs with AdsVisor, or how to build reports from templates in Looker Studio as well. And there's step-by-step guides that make it so simple, and he breaks it down for you. They also have an amazing resource center with like step-by-step guides for everything from just like connecting the ad accounts to making the reports and everything in between. So they make it super simple. And Gu is just like so accessible. Like, I'm sure you could just like tweet at him and he would reply to you, like, and make you a special video. Like, he's just the best. And he makes it so easy for marketers. Custom GPTs can seem super intimidating, but I promise you it is so much easier said than done. And you are going to save so much time and money because this is such an affordable alternative. It is starting at just $19.99 a month, and they have transparent pricing on their site. So you can see based on your number of data sources how much it would cost for you. So to learn more about AdsVisor, go to adsvisor.com today. That is ADZVISER.com, ADZVISER. Thank you, AdsVisor.
All right, so you're not that much of a GPT girly. Well, what do you have in the news?
Well, GPT Search is officially launched for ChatGPT Plus and Teams users. So those are both paid versions, right?
Yes.
Like, we have access through a corporate account, but that's the only way I was able to do it so far. And it's kind of tricky with how to use it. You have to like read the guide if you're like me. So you have to click on the little web icon in the search bar to switch to Search GPT when you're chatting with ChatGPT. So there's categories. ChatGPT Search includes up-to-date information and unique visual designs for specific categories like weather, stocks, sports, news, maps. I played around with the weather one. It doesn't really look that cool. It's just pulling in like the 5-day forecast. But this could really be a game changer. It's definitely like coming for Google. And I gotta say, I'm kind of loving it. So with the links is definitely like the most important part that we felt like is missing from the AI overview, at least when it's launched, and we're not loving the experience now. I love that they have the favicon for the source at the top. Like, I love when different platforms do that. They have the main source like right at the top when you're searching. So this is like weather.com .gov is pulling in. But then if you scroll down, there's a button you can click on for sources, and it pulls everything in. So national weather sources, like everything it used for the answer. So I thought that was really nice too. But of course, I had to put it to the test. So I asked it some tough questions. Well,
PMAX based?
No.
Oh, matching base.
No.
What's harder than that?
Taylor Swift.
Oh. Should have known.
There's a lot happening with the Eras Tour, and you can't always get quick answers.
That's what I say.
So I took one that I was literally asked 2 days ago. Was Florida permanently added to the Eras Tour set list? And
do you know the answer to this?
Yes.
Okay.
But it took me a long time to find it at first because Search GPT was not rolled out yet. So they gave the correct answer. Florida with 3 exclamation points. The collaboration with Florence Welch, blah, 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 was first performed live during the final European leg of the Eras Tour at Wembley Stadium in August. Song was subsequently included in the set list for Miami shows in 2024, with Welch joining Swift on stage. However, as of November 6th, Florida has not been permanently added to the set list. Ask the same question at AI Overview. Yes, Florida by Taylor Swift featuring Florence Welch was added to the Eras set list permanently after Swift and Welch performed the song together in Miami. Not true. And then I asked my current favorite AI search, which is perplexity.ai, and they said Taylor Swift's song Florida has been added to the Eras Tour set list, but its status as a permanent addition remains unclear. So they were not, at least they said they didn't know, but
Okay.
it was not added to the set list. You know, that's my test.
Well, let's go search with ChatGPT.
Yeah,
I
that's
can
what
see
it's
myself.
officially called.
I thought they were going to call it Search GPT, but I think it's different.
I'm liking it so far. I've been playing around with it today. I like it like as much as perplexity.ai, I would say so far.
And one note that I saw today is that Sam Altman looks to have bought chat.com. So if that might be easier, like I'm all for a competitor to google.com.
Yeah.
You know, some people do get confused with ChatGPT and things like that. If you can just go to chat.com and use that as like a chat search engine, that could be like a really cool marketing play.
Yeah. Interesting. Another note here, Microsoft and OpenAI, this is from Barry Schwartz's article on Search Engine Roundtable about this new tool. So it seems that ChatGPT search index comes from Bing, for now at least, he says. ChatGPT search does rely on other partners, but like a lot of it's coming from Bing, it seems like. So that was interesting too. That's all I got. Are you guys liking it? Have you tried it?
I haven't yet.
Honestly, the rollout is the toughest part,
Yeah.
where you have to go in, you have to be pro. Like personally on my phone, I don't have a pro account.
Yeah.
So I think that's limiting. I kind of wish some of these companies would try harder on these launches. And then I think there's like a certain number that you can only hit, and then they cap you. So I think the rollout's a problem, but I liked it. I thought the answers are good. I love the fact of citations. That's always the thing that drove me craziest about ChatGPT is you'd get an answer and you wouldn't be able to see where it came from. And then you'd like eventually you'd be using Google.
Yeah.
If you can do this and you can get to a website and you're cool with that website, like that level of trust just goes up and up.
I also thought it was interesting, back to my silly example, because I said earlier I like couldn't figure out how to do the search option at first. I was chatting and it got the answer wrong. But then
Whoa.
in the search it got it right.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Interesting.
Wow.
Just some food for thought. Florida.
Isn't it pronounced Florida?
Florida.
3 slammers at the end of it? I feel like it gets Florida.
You would like it. Have you heard it?
No.
You
It's
can't not
good.
like that song.
Yeah.
Anything else happening this week, Julia?
So from Anthony Higman on
Hickman.
X, there's changes to Google's partner-free ad credit promos for new clients. So you can choose from one of 3 options based on the budget, but the big change is that the credits are no longer automatically applied. You'll need to manually go in and apply them. There's a Google support doc that lays out the steps to do it. Option A, 500. When you spend 500. Option B, 1,000 in credit when you spend 1,500. Option C, 1,500 in ad credit when you spend 3,000.
The fact that it's not automatically done is the biggest change for marketers, because you now have to go do work when you set up a new account. And it's just the way that they're making some of the partner stuff. Like we had a message, if we didn't buy something, all of our points were going away. So we bought like an end table and just kept our points till April, and we're gonna have to buy something again. They're just like really making it harder and harder and harder to get value out of that program.
So this is, you're already a Google partner, so you probably like have an MCC account, and you would use this credit for like a new client.
Client, yep.
Interesting. It's also like, I don't like the levels of the credits. Like, why wouldn't you get more if you spend more, kind of thing?
Yeah, it's strange.
Well,
What can you do?
I'm not feeling like they like marketers right now.
Okay, and since the last time we reported on this, there has been an outrage, I would say, and bickering. Maybe it's a full-blown hullabaloo over on
this week?
X. Yes.
On X?
Yeah. And it has nothing to do with what you think. It's really the past like 7 days, let's say. But late last week, more and more information came out from that Web Creator Summit that Google had invited people out who were impacted by the helpful content update. And some of these write-ups were like, we covered one from Mike Hardecker and last week, and it was brutal. And he had one of the first ones out. There was another one. I believe this was either Tech Raptor or it may have been Giant Freaking Robot. No, I think this was Tech Raptor. From the meeting, allegedly, the write-up says, a fellow attendee asked Google's engineers a simple question. I've changed the names to protect the innocent, but in basic substance, it was this. Why does Nike rank number 1 for the query best running shoes instead of a list written by an independent, unbiased reviewer? We expect, and this is from, again, the author, they said, we expected the answer to be something like, oh, we're working on that. Our algorithm just hasn't figured it out. Instead, the answer we got was this. If we rank a small publisher ahead of a big brand, won't they get mad?
You're kidding.
Could you be more tone deaf?
You're kidding. That can't be real.
That's from the article.
No way.
It's bad.
They're not telling us who said it?
Oh, this is from giantfreakingrobot.com that got hit. And that was what that was reported back. Again, this is all alleged. I was not in the room. I'm just reading parts of the article.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's unbelievable.
I mean, you have to be so detached to reality if you're a Google engineer saying this.
Yeah.
You've got these people that are literally saying, hey, I have to go to a food pantry and I've fired everybody on my staff. And I'm shutting my website down. And they're saying, why wouldn't you have somebody actually reviewing best running shoes for the query best running shoes? And their answer is, well, wouldn't Nike get mad? Like,
and why is Google afraid of Mikey? That they'll like pull their ads. Did I say Mikey? That they would like pull their ad spend. Like, what are they scared of?
Right.
So
they probably won't even notice. Low-key.
So there was another write-up, and I believe this one is from Tech Raptor. I have a quote. You can see it over from Lily Ray at Lily Ray NYC on X. And allegedly, Google had said to these creators that they shouldn't be paying money for SEO audits to try and recover, and that they should just focus on making good content or something like that, which then all of the people that do SEO are outraged by, because you have Google saying, do not go get SEO audits to people. Where, like, lots of things can be true and things can be true and wrong at the same time. And it's complicated. But in this area, I understand why Google would tell these people that were hit by this update. And Google is confirming, like we talked about last week, that there's not a problem with the website. It's not a problem with the content. And to kind of hang in there and there might be another update, I can understand why Google's telling them to save their money.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the optics of Google telling anybody not to invest in SEO, like, can be taken out of context and isn't a great look for the industry. So then there was bickering back and forth, and a lot of these content creators had actually hired SEOs and were like, obviously, like, notably upset that they're like, oh, all these SEOs, they talk about how much they can do and all this different stuff, and I got nothing out of it. And I understand that point of view too. Like, that sucks. But I also understand the SEO's point of view. Nobody had ever seen a helpful content update before. It's like a brand new, you're a doctor and you get this brand new terminal illness or something. And it's like, you usually can fix things. This one is a new one. I didn't know that was that, and I can't fix this one, you know? And it's like, it's really tough all the way around. But then I think the part that was the worst is, again, some of these creators are being very aggressive, I would say, in some of the rebuttals. And I understand you're mad. There's a lot of emotions and things like that. Calling out SEOs is like snake oil salesmen, to be fair, which most of them are. And I can say that. I would say most people are not as good as they say and whatever. And I'm going to get a lot of hate for that, but it's just the truth.
No one who listens to this show.
I don't know. It is literally the truth. So, but I would also say there's very good SEOs.
Yeah.
Glenn Gabe, great, right? Okay. Are y'all following on this?
Yes.
So then all these SEOs like cannot read the room and timing and anything. And they just start going at these creators and being like, you have too many ads on your site. Oh, this is, and it's like these people have lost everything. What are you doing to these poor folks? And so they're always like, oh, well, this image wasn't very helpful. And like, it was a good image. It was funny. It was showing Google as a ghost town. Like, I don't know what these people are talking about. So it was like all back and forth. And to be fair, I think some of the creators were upset and kind of threw some shade to the SEOs, and the SEOs are throwing shade there. And the giant freaking robot ended up, it's giantfreakingrobot.com, not with no hard G on there. It's freaking. And they had wrote all these things up, right? And then they said, they ended up shutting down, which is super sad. They shut the website down. They fired the last 2 people because they didn't want to have to fire them during a holiday season. Like, this is how bad it is. This is why you just leave these people alone, you dirty SEOs. Like, stop. I don't know. You're like, don't like keep rubbing their face in it. Like, they are losing everything.
Yeah, that's really sad. Don't kick someone while they're down.
I know. They're like, they're below. They're underground. That's how down they are.
So GFR shut down their site, and then Google invited them to the Creator Summit.
No, it was before. And so they have a fantastic article. It is the must-read marketing article of the week because you can tell this person is a great writer.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to read a couple of sentences here, and then it's going to be the must-read marketing article.
You love a dramatic reading.
This is really good. This is just so well written, and it's like, why is this content really being demoted? And there's like a little twist at the end. So apparently there was nobody on campus. They said, I only saw 2 Googlers out and about during my day spent in the building. They played ping pong atop a depressing gray table in a tiny fishbowl room deep within the bowels of the Google labyrinth. They didn't seem to be enjoying it. That was one paragraph. I just loved it. They had they had pictures of this empty Google campus. Apparently there was like one person just screaming around. It's a great read. And then they got like cold chicken for lunch or something like that. And this just is so Google, this paragraph. We few entertainment site owners rearranged ourselves into a corner semicircle and sat drinking mint lemon water from cups made of recycled kale. We were joined by 4 Googlers who began pumping us for information. It's just like, these people have lost everything, and you're giving them mint lemon water in cups made of kale. And then right after that, I said, while we've been quote unquote eating, Google had its quarterly conference call in which they talked only about AI they were using to steal content from our sites. When questioned about the content of the call, our Googlers acted as if they barely knew AI existed and pretended it wasn't impacting their search results.
Why invite the creators?
I mean, honestly, this person, and I think his name's Daniel. If not, I apologize. It made a decision from it. It's like, we're just going to cut the bleeding. I'm not going to have to fire people during holiday season.
Yeah.
I understand this. And this last paragraph here, and please go read the whole article. Go support it. And they're switching to a YouTube channel. So that's going to be the next play.
Oh, also cool.
But this needs to be heard.
Okay.
Finally, someone bluntly asks, since nothing is wrong with our sites, how do we recover? Google's elderly chief search scientist answered, without an ounce of pity or concern, that there would be updates, but he didn't know when they'd happen or what they'd do. Further questions on the subject were met with indifference, as if he didn't understand why we cared. He had gotten the information he wanted. The conference was over. I don't even think he said thanks. Instead, Google's wise wizard of search science wrapped things up with a self-congratulatory speech about what a great job we are doing helping Google deliver better search results to its users. Search results without any of us in them. It was then I realized this wasn't our funeral. It was Google's. And if you have a moment, say a prayer for hardworking Danny Sullivan. Pray he won't be left there at Google, wandering their empty and decaying coffin, all alone, haunted by the angry, invisible ghosts.
Wow.
And read.
That's deep. That's really sad.
Now, you want to hear something sadder? His name is Josh, not Dan. I messed that up. Josh then tweeted, predictably, my article is now outranked by message boards talking about my article. And Hacker News and Reddit is showing up above GFR.
Wow.
You can see an example right there.
Oh my God.
Insult to injury.
That's just like the drum thing.
So anyway, I thought that was interesting and wanted to fill people in if you weren't in, maybe you're off of X for some specific reason. And I guess a glimmer of hope, Glenn Gabe on X said that he's been asked several times to run some visibility numbers for those 400 or so sites. And 22% of them have seen recovery since this summit. So this last week. So there are these signs of life for some. It doesn't seem to be at the same levels, but there does seem to be signs of life for this. So maybe we'll see. I am wholeheartedly, after reading the article, rooting for a GFR reboot.
That's nice. What's their content about?
It's like sci-fi. So
Okay.
they do a lot of like Star Trek. It's like sci-fi movies and things like that.
Wow. Wishing them the best.
And now for this week's
Cool Tool.
As a reminder, our Cool Tool segment is not an official endorsement or paid mention. We're simply sharing something we found in our travels that may be of use to our listeners and is really, really cool.
This week's cool tool is from Alfred Simon, and it's actually a huge list of a bunch of PPC tools and communities. So you can filter it by like what type of tool you're looking for. So like tracking, attribution, feed management, and a whole bunch more. And then you can filter it by top rated, free, or all of them. So it's just a super cool list to have on hand, and we'll have the link in our newsletter and in Discord. So check it out.
Now it's time for this week's Take of the Week. This is a hashtag fire digital marketing take with extra spice served up for you. We simply deliver the take for your consumption. We give no opinions. We don't influence. You make the call.
This week's Take of the Week comes from Harrison Jack Hepp over on LinkedIn. Great follow over there, and I believe on X, still Xing away. He says, here's a quick insight into my day managing Google Ads. Step 1, click campaigns. Step 2, click campaigns. Step 3, click campaigns again, ? Step 4, change campaign filter to all campaigns. Step 5, finally click on the campaign I was looking for to start. Over and over and over again.
All I heard was pain, pain.
Great take, Harrison.
Very good.
Now it's time for this week's Pew Pew Lightning Round. At this point in the show, we split up our content into 3 parts: paid, organic, and social.
First up in the paid universe this week from Thomas Assell over on LinkedIn. He has a big update from PMAX land. You can finally segment your PMAX asset groups directly in the table view. So some selected accounts, he says, now have the segment option available when viewing their PMAX asset group performance, which is available for me. I didn't check today. So you can look at time, click type, conversions, device, network. It's always cross network on network. That was just, me having hope, but no. And top versus others. But I love segments. That would be great. From Dario Zanoni on LinkedIn, brand guideline settings for Google PMAX campaigns have been spotted in some accounts this week. These were announced at Google Marketing Live earlier this year. This is kind of confusing to me because they're at the campaign level, but it's a lot of things that you already put into your ad in quotes, when you make your PMAX asset group. So I don't know if it's leaving there and just going into your campaign settings or if you have to do it in both places. But he says you're required to put in a business name in your settings. He says may appear in ad text. Logos, square logo required, landscape logo optional. You can add custom colors as an option, and you can add fonts as an option. So I feel like it would make more sense in the ad. I don't know why they're doing it in the settings, but
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I think it's nice if you're like, oh, we really need like a Helvetica-esque font.
The font is cool.
And you want, yeah, so that's nice.
Yeah.
I love it.
We'll take it. Next up from Andrea Cruz on LinkedIn. We have not heard from her in a minute. How are you, Andrea? She says that LinkedIn Ads just launched a new company report feature. This sounds really, really cool. That was my words. Like Andrea would have said something better. I think it sounds really cool. She says this tool lets you view and filter any company that has engaged with your ads or organic posts. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
You can filter by engagement level, and she says even better, create audience based on this data to activate directly.
And I've actually talked to Andrea as well recently.
Or
Yes.
would we see her soon, possibly, or not?
I believe so. But I was talking to her because she is going to be doing a game show with me at SMX Next on November 13th and 14th. That is completely free to register for. So you should go check it out. searchengineland.com/SMX. And I hear that you're going to be doing something with me on SMX.
I will be joining you for coffee talk on Thursday, right?
Let's talk shopping.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. And we have PPC Kirk.
Yeah. It'll be fun.
It'll be great. And I'm also giving a giving a talk. I already did it. I kind of like did the show. I just kind of went crazy.
Our show?
I was just like this personality here.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? I think I scared everybody.
That's like all you ever are.
I think I scared Menachem a little bit.
That's why people want you on their panels. That's what they expect. Yeah, you're kind of Mr. SMX this year. It's like...
Yeah.
Also, you better wear a suit to the game show. You're hosting.
Oh, no, I'm not hosting. I'm a celebrity judge.
You're a competitor? Oh.
Or expert judge or whatever.
I feel like that also requires a suit.
Okay, I'll wear a suit.
Next up here, Luke Trevelyan noticed a new campaign group tab in Google Ads. He says Google explains this as a set of campaigns that shares key performance indicators. Campaign groups are helpful for tracking the overall performance of multiple campaigns with similar goals. So I guess it's cool if you have multiple goals in an account for like lead gen or something. He says it also looks like you can target certain metrics within these groups too. So he says it's essentially like a repackaged portfolio bid strategy. I don't hate it, but it's just the word campaign again in a tab. Meta Ads has a new option called Flexible Media, and Bram Vanderhelen doesn't really know what it is, so I don't think anyone does.
Nobody could.
There's no documentation, so he's going to turn it off until he knows what it is, and I think you all should. He thinks it's something about placements.
If Bram doesn't know what it is,
It's hopeless.
hopeless.
Turn
He
it
knows
off.
everything.
Turn it off.
What a follow over on LinkedIn.
I know.
Bram.
Does he know about us?
He's a power listener.
Wait.
He's in our Discord.
Bram.
Bram.
Oh my God. Hi,
How
Bram.
embarrassing of you.
Sorry. I'm a terrible person.
Power listener, Bram. We love you.
Oh my, we get
We're
all of our
selling
news
some of our
from him.
merch. Yeah.
We get all of our news. Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks, Bram. Let us know when you figure out what it is. I'm sure it's just a matter of days. Another exciting Meta Ads update from Bram is that there is a new breakdown feature that lets you easily compare results by selecting different breakdown options. You don't have to like click in. You can just see it right from your campaigns, and you can look at all the things you want to: age and gender, placement, platform, impression device, platform device, country, region, media type. It's everything. Read the list on his LinkedIn. Next up, Anthony Higman found something interesting, or to use his words, yo, look at this wild beep. They hiding the ad label on map ads now. Okay. If you're going to have to use a sentence case, then just like write in a full sentence and don't say, yo. I don't understand, Anthony. We're going to get to the bottom of this in a couple weeks when we see him in person.
Yeah.
If you need sentence or title case, like just make it a real sentence.
Yeah.
Isn't that harder? Anyway.
Yeah, he's writing like that SpongeBob meme where you have like capitals and non-capitals.
Yeah, then he has all caps within the title case.
It's too much. He just needs to use ChatGPT and be like, turn this into something a human being would say.
Yeah.
And we love Higman.
I'm the biggest Higman supporter.
I am.
Hi, Higman. So what he's complaining about actually like warrants this kind of reaction because they're hiding ad labels in the map. Like if you hover over it, it says sponsored, but in the main map label you'll see in the video on YouTube, there's nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, in the results, there's nothing. But when you break it down, you can see upon further investigation.
Is that what people should have to do?
No.
It's
You're
crazy.
definitely not.
Higman is the only person who would see that sponsored label. Like,
Yeah, literally.
100%.
Criminal. Microsoft Advertising is updating its shopping audience campaigns this week. We actually have one in one of our accounts that we don't talk about a lot, and it does like really, really well. And apparently they're making them better. They are improving the setup workflow. It's going to be improved and simplified. And they are also allowing you to create product groups, just like within normal shopping campaigns. So this seems like a long time coming.
Big deal. Julie and I were just talking about a certain client that has specific holiday deals. If you've got them like a custom label, you can now use product groups, pull in that custom label, you're off and running.
Love it. Next up, Hannah Kubzova shared that there is a new conversion report in Google Ads that launched for sales and leads. So you can go into your goals and there's 2 tabs, one for sales and one for leads. It kind of seems along the lines of those campaign groups, like a similar thing. So you can look at those goals across campaigns. And again, it seems like it would be good for lead gen accounts or accounts where you're tracking different conversion goals. Next up, Google is sometimes showing this cute little shopping bag icon in the listings, and it will take you directly to the retailer's checkout page to buy the item,
Whoa.
like add to cart.
Crazy.
Yeah,
That's what Barry Schwartz shared. Dangerous for me. I know I like to buy things on my phone.
I mean, I think it's going to help shopping ads, at least.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Talk about last click.
Yeah.
I also have a breaking entry here from Bram Vanderhalen from our Discord.
Oh,
Did you catch that today?
that he sent something.
No. Yeah, he said that there's a new attribution default to be aware of that when you're running conversion campaigns, Meta is now including the 1-day engaged view attribution by default. The big issue with this is if you are including the engaged view attribution, it means that Meta will show your video ads to people most likely to convert, and this may help to maximize your campaign performance. He's got a full write-up of whether or not you should be using this, but just another breaking piece of news from Rob.
He's Mr. Meta. Next up, if you've been following along with Barry Schwartz's tales of the sponsored ad label in Bing and all of the testing, he has an update. He thinks it's fully rolled out based on what he's seeing.
He said that, and I saw still the same old.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I cover this multiple times, and we were training someone this week, and I was showing her the sponsored label on Bing. Well, I was just showing her an example of a Bing ad, and I tried my tried and true example, CRM software. There's always an ad. And I'm scrolling. I'm like, where are the ads? I didn't find the sponsored label for so long. It's undistinguishable. It is the same color as the text hidden in the description.
That's why I always make the joke that like Microsoft does it the best. Like we love Microsoft.
They love ads. I know. I got the joke, but I just didn't realize in the wild how truly undistinguishable it is.
I
Like,
forgot you're not a Bing user.
who is?
I used to be, and now I'm back to. I'm going to be Perplexity, I think. Yeah.
I feel like you need one like traditional search engine.
I'll use probably Google. Bing is just too hard to do, and then everything is just like so anxiety riddled with how much they have everywhere now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I use Google and Perplexity depending on what's happening. Meta is expanding its ad. Oh, I don't want to say this. Bleep it out. Meta is expanding the blackout date for a certain type of ad that was banned until after November 5th, but now they're making the ban longer.
Wait, what happened in the shop?
Nothing good. Bleep that out. People are going to think that means
Bleep that out
something.
too.
Yeah. Next up, Amy Hebden has more thoughts on those BizLink assets that we shared last week. This is actually, I think, a good point. She says not enough people are talking about the BizLink enhancements, where Google's AI generating and enhancing headlines and descriptions. This is turned on automatically by default, where I think with site links, it's not automatically turned on where they can rewrite descriptions. So the option to turn it off is controllable, but it's at the campaign level rather than the asset creation level. So she thinks maybe the whole point of this is to like get more people to opt into that, overwrite your assets, I guess. That's all I got this week.
All right, that was a lot.
Yeah.
You know what else is a lot when it comes to value? AdsVisor, our sponsor of this week's show. And AdsVisor, I like to think of them really as a company that is revolutionizing marketing data connectors with ChatGPT and really custom GPTs. Yes, they have those videos out there that show you how to make your own custom GPT, but this tool is powered by the AdsVisor GPT. So yes, you can get your data taken out to other places, connect it, make all your beautiful, lovely reports, but you can ask AdsVisor GPT to help you with simple tasks. How much more, and there is some specific nomenclature in here that I'm gonna get to in a second, but if you wanna see how much more cost you had yesterday versus the prior day, you can just ask that and you can get the answer with AdsVisor GPT. And we talk about it all the time. You talked about it earlier, how much helpful information is there. Goo had an entire article about success with AdsVisor GPT is 90% in your prompts if you want to receive the correct reporting data. And it goes through 3 scenarios where you can mess up by querying or asking AdsVisor GPT for help. The first thing was dates. And he has full screenshots and helps walk you through how to run the dates specifically. Another thing is about data size. And if it's a really large data set, he instructs you like it's much better to use the Google Sheets add-on and has all these steps on how to really maximize this AdsVisor GPT that is like your personal helper, along with your connector that AdsVisor can do. And then the third thing that people kind of run into some issues with AdsVisor is that you just really need to use the correct metrics, and metrics can change, right? So if you're talking about Facebook, the metric of cost isn't how Facebook reports stuff. So we just have to use spend. And there's like all these help guides and documentation, and he talks through all of it. And you can tell he's like, he cares. Mm-hmm. In this, he's like, I'm sorry, but like, if you select a metric that doesn't exist, or it can be interpreted incorrectly, and it can be frustrating. I get that. And that's why there are articles going through it. There are help guides. There are video tutorials. There's a resource section. They help you get the most of your data and help you use the tool better and as flawlessly as they can. So use AdVisor if you're looking for better connectors, but they are revolutionizing the game with GPT. Mm-hmm. And they have ChatGPT built in. Use the AdsVisor GPT and have it do some of those tasks that you never think are going to take that much time, but always take more time than you expect. Yeah. So it's only $19.99 to try. Again, 3 connectors on that. And I can't recommend you making dynamic reports enough and using something like this to help you be a better marketer by taking some of those remedial tasks off of your plate. That's adsvisor.com, ADZVISER.com, ADZVISER.com. All right. And this week we had really, according to Barry Schwartz, 2 search ranking updates that he dubbed updates. I don't know. They're not technically updates that I think Google has reported on yet. Maybe they have.
If Barry says it, it must be true.
According to you. And the first one is the Halloween 2024 Google search ranking update. There was a significant spike. It started on October 31st, and he's going to call that one, again, the Halloween 2024, because why not, according to Barry. There is a whole bunch of chatter. He's got it all there. There's a bunch of comments over at searchengineroundtable.com. And many people are kind of confirming this, like big swings across, the 31st to the 1st. And what's that noise?
It's time for Barry's Charts with Greg.
All right, this week's Barry's Charts with Greg, we've got our 3rd place chart, which is cognitive SEO. And if you look at this chart, we've seen unparalleled volatility. Every week, we're just like, oh, and search is volatile. Until like October 21st here. It just goes straight green. Just the green tide right through. And I don't know how you can look at this and say that this is an update. So I like it. It's just odd to me.
I like when you give awards to bad charts.
Okay. Oh, also, just a runner-up, Mangool's chart. Because Mangools. I just like saying the name. Okay, 2nd place was Data for SEO, and their chart is stuck. Their chart has been glued to the ceiling. They are 10 out of 10 every single day.
Does Barry give color to these charts?
No, he just put Data for SEO and you see the chart. But this one just gave me a well-needed smile on my face. This chart is literally a line. It is a line at the top that you could be 10 out of 10. Okay. And the winning chart was from SimilarWeb this week. You can see a lot of activity, or I guess normal activity at the beginning of October. And then it was kind of flat according to SimilarWeb, which kind of bucked the trend that every other chart was showing. And in the end, it kind of went up. And it just reminded me of a half pipe. So, Gables, can you just throw again like
Tony Hawk.
just a skateboard in there? Yeah, throw Tony Hawk in there. Have him fire up that chart. So that was Barry's Charts with Greg, a visual program, audio program about visual charts. Did I get it?
Nailed it.
Okay. There is also, according to Barry, additionally, some ranking update volatility, which might even have a spookier name.
Oh.
It is a term that rhymes with
Oh my God.
collection 2024 search ranking update volatility that had something to do with what happened on the 5th. And these charts, they're like the same charts. You're like 4 days after. I'm not doing charts again. I'm not doing it again. So you can see that Barry thinks there's like more volatility that's happened like right about the time of the 5th and all the festivities that were going on around that.
I just love the data for SEO.
I know. That's got to be chart of the year. The early running for chart of the year.
It's not early.
Late running for chart of the year. Okay, one other just note, there were some issues with some questions that people had when it came to am I allowed to say can't on YouTube? Bleep it.
We're helpless.
And when you search for a certain county that ended in the last name of a person, it would show. And if it wasn't there, it wouldn't show. So it made it look like when you search for one, Google was giving you answers. And when you search for another, it wasn't giving you answers. But sorry, there's a county. There's also a county, and it showed for both of those. And so Google actually fixed that same day on November 5th.
Wow.
So also that's news. Okay, Google is highlighting new Google Shopping with a giant label. And when you go to Google Shopping now, google.com/shopping, you see this big sign that says, welcome to the new Google Shopping. I don't really get it.
Why is it orange?
If you think that's weird, just buckle up here, as Danny Sullivan would say. But you can see people will understand that this is supposed to be newer and it's a different experience, I think is what they're trying to say. I do think the experience is good, but there's some holes to be poked. It's new on Wednesday of this week. I had said this would be good if it were an app. If this was an app and you could go search across the web and find it, that'd be great. But people don't go to Google. Morty had a great point. People don't, this is still a Google search. They need to take this and make it more manageable for people. Okay, next up, Google apparently was testing orange links instead of the typical blue link. And Barry has it over on Search Engine Roundtable. It is a sort of clammy orange with a lighter orange underneath it. What color orange is that? It's like creamsicle
salmon.
Is what we were saying. And it's
Salmon.
So it's like salmon color orange and then a lighter underneath. I hate it. It makes me look like I have color blindness. Like it makes something is wrong with this.
Very strange.
Crystal also said it might have been because of Halloween in that case.
Yeah, that was my thought too.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen it since. Google's also testing dropping the results count when you do a search. So typically you would see like the about 2 million results and they are dropping that. So I know some people really like it. I've never quite looked at it, but you used to be able to see like what was there from results in the index and they might be taking that away. So that's it in organic. What's happening in social, Julia?
First, for social, Meta is developing an AI system to detect teens lying about their age. So right, like there's gonna be a workaround. They're gonna do it anyway.
But also,
whatever.
like, can't be good.
Yeah. Well, it says it uses like sus birthday posts and like other stuff to like figure out if they're like under 18. So yeah, I don't know. It's not a thing yet, but it's gonna be.
They're not smarter than like.
Right.
The question I have is like, what could you even use to do that?
Right. Yeah.
Like, do you agree to this terms of conditions? And if you write bet, you're like, you're out.
Yeah,
Is
like
that what it is? Like, how do you
Ask
tell?
Julia.
I don't
How
know.
would you go
She's
about trying to
closer to the
figure out
teens than I am.
if you're under 13? Like, what?
I
Do you have
think
any
it's
tests?
18 at least.
18.
Right? 16? I don't know. Anyway,
You have no tests.
I mean, like,
Yeah,
no.
how would
like,
you do
could,
it?
like, I think another thing, too, is, like, just, like, the way they post. But, like, that's going to be, like, so embarrassing when someone gets, like, kicked off when they're, like, 25 and just don't know how to type or whatever, you know? So, I don't know.
Okay.
There's no good
Put
way.
in your parents' landline phone number.
Yeah. Okay, next, CapCut launches Commerce Pro package for retail promotions. So this offer includes a range of TikTok-aligned commerce creation tools, including a process that can create video clips based on just your product URL, as well as various means to include shoppable links in your clips. It also includes some more advanced selling options, including access to TikTok AI avatars, which I guess are like super popular other places, and they're like trying to make them a thing here. And then they also have the new virtual try-on option, and it enables scheduling and auto-publishing across multiple channels. So it's a nice little update.
I hope they have a desktop version. I should probably know that, but like if you're going to use it for work, like
Right, yeah, they might. According to Microsoft's latest quarterly market update, LinkedIn is seeing record performance again. This has happened like every quarter since like 2018. They just say LinkedIn revenue grew 10%. They also talk about how they have 1 billion members, and like I guess it's a thing they always say, but they don't talk about active users. So I don't know.
yeah, a bunch of people made profiles in college
Right.
and don't use them.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
sessions grew as well, right? Not just revenue.
Yeah. 11% with record engagement.
I wonder what's happening over on X.
That
ev-
everyone's going to
that people are
LinkedIn.
moving to LinkedIn.
I don't know. It's a real mystery.
TikTok also has launched an updated TikTok Academy that has new courses to help you understand all their promo options in the app. So this first launched in June 22, and then they added more courses in June 2023. They're kind of split out into 5 different paths. So basics, building brand awareness, website conversions, promoting your app, and then generate leads. So the courses are relatively short, and they provide insights and notes that could be helpful for holiday planning. So it's a nice little thing to look through if you want more TikTok information.
Did you ever think that Elon might be a genius?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously he's a genius, but like everybody's like, what a stupid purchase that was for Twitter just to rebrand it to X.
Oh,
You know?
Mhm.
But then it's like, oh, you use this platform to help somebody win a job.
oh,
Do you know what I mean?
did he?
Yeah, it was thanked like specifically at night.
Are people going to come for you for this?
No, I'm just saying like were we all dumb to be like, what are you doing to X? Because now he's like helped a powerful friend, let's say.
Yeah.
Maybe some argue the most powerful friend that could exist.
I mean, there's a reason he's a billionaire, and I'm.
But now he's like, use that, and it's gonna help his business. It's gonna help Tesla, it's gonna help SpaceX, it's gonna help everything, you know? Like that might be, we might have all been like way wrong, thinking
were
that
the
was a
joke.
bad buy. Like we might be the joke.
It would still be easier to make a better ad platform. Like, make
Yeah,
some
but
more money.
what do
off
you
that.
care if you just use it to befriend a very powerful person?
Well, that makes me a little sad. Such a good
I was
place.
thinking about that. I was I'm like, this might be like, we're all just playing checkers. He's playing chess.
Yeah.
Last for social, LinkedIn's retiring the celebratory post template, so it's not a big change, but the goal is just to get
Ugh.
more people to post original content. I'm
I
kind of
love
sad.
those.
Yeah, it was always so easy
And
to
I
be like,
loved the template for the response where you say congrats.
yeah.
And that brings us to our real life segment, straight out of our accounts and into your ear holes. It's time for Working Hard or Hardly Working, where we talk about what's going on in our IRL work, good, bad, or otherwise.
Something that's working hard for me in Microsoft ads that I wish Google had. So there's obviously like the overview page where you can see the chart with performance. But in Microsoft, if you go to campaigns, you could like filter and only look at certain campaigns, and there's a little chart and you can only see 2 metrics at a time, but it's better than nothing. And I really wish we had that in Google, because you could like only look at campaigns with a certain label, or it's really nice. So
Wow.
wish we had it. What about you, Julia?
Working hard for me this week. I set up a PMAX campaign a couple weeks ago with a value rule for one of our clients because I wanted to test PMAX, and I was like super scared because, you know, just in case it goes bad. But it's actually been like working pretty well. I have the budget super low, and the leads seem good so far. So exciting stuff.
So you're just going after any form submission, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you use the value rule for audience,
Yeah.
and it's bringing in good leads.
Yeah. I mean, there's been like a couple like not great ones, but overall they've been good. So.
Wow. I always wanted to try that. I haven't gotten the opportunity.
It was scary.
Greg?
All right, and for me, I guess I'm kind of dumb because we have a client that has, the 360 version of Google Analytics, which is a lot of money to purchase. And I was running through some data, and I thought that 360 was all unsampled data, and it's sampled data depending on like the data set. And you have to use like some of your credits just to see like unsampled data. I'm like, I had no idea. I just thought the whole thing was unsampled.
Yeah.
And I had to run and use tokens or whatever they're called to
What is this? Like,
but it's like you can't
Chuck
just
E.
even
Cheese?
do this for it's Chuck E. Cheese. You're paying 360 prices for it.
Why would you need to pay extra? That's really dumb.
Yeah, I mean, you get a bunch of you have a bunch you can use, but it's like I didn't know it cost token whatever's. I just didn't know that. And I was like, wow, that's hardly working to me.
I agree.
Now it's time for this week's ICYMI.
ICYMI people.
This is something you just might not have seen. Maybe something that you overlooked, but you shouldn't have.
ICYMI people, we have another update from Amy Hebden. It's not really an update, it's kind of an insight. And I started to highlight some parts of this, and then I was just highlighting the whole thing. So I'm just going to be Greg Finn and do a dramatic reading. She said, did you know that Juicy Fruit once promoted artificial flavor as a benefit on its packaging? They learned a lesson that many companies today still haven't. Artificial on its own isn't much of a value proposition, and treating it like one can hurt sales. When was the last time you bought something because it was artificial? Then she says people don't drink Diet Coke for the aspartame, but I do. Hang on. She says, an article from Search Engine Journal called AI and Marketing Copy, a Surprising Sales Killer Study Finds, shared research showing that promoting AI in marketing can actually decrease consumer trust and lower purchase intent. There's a real anxiety around AI with concerns about accuracy, liability, and trust, and most people aren't ready to trade the promise of saving time or money. To succeed, you need to solve not only your market's existing problems, but also the new challenges that AI introduces. The irony is that while AI promises to make so much work obsolete, it still can't sell itself. Your skills as a marketer are as relevant today as ever. This is something that like I've always thought. We've talked about it with that like terrible Google ad about using AI to write a letter to the track star. And I feel like so many people, like I'm really glad that the study found that like I'm valid in that thought, that like you shouldn't just promote AI as like putting AI in any kind of copy is like all of a sudden amazing. Like some people don't want it. And there's a lot of times you shouldn't use it. So
yeah, 100%. And I actually saw a good ad when people were touting AI recently.
What was it?
Advisor GPT, where you can use something to say, what was the spend in my Facebook campaigns in October 2024 versus September 2024?
Yeah. Well, of course,
and how you can actually use it.
Of course, Advisor's whole value is AI.
Exactly.
And they're using it the right way.
But that's the thing. Show how it helps, not just AI.
Right.
Now it's time for our must-read marketing article of the week. An article so advanced, so in-depth, so detailed that we simply cannot cover it in its entirety on today's show.
This week's must-read marketing article of the week comes from the GFR, Giant Freaking Robot, and Joshua Tyler. And I would implore you to go read this whole article. It's called I Attended Google's Creator Conversation Event, and it turned into a funeral. Additionally, I would tell you to read, just to really hear that story, The End of Independent Publishing and Giant Freaking Robot, an article that came out this week as well, shutting it down and really outlining the case. But at least the Google one was hysterical to me. And I like the fact Danny is literally the most charismatic guy, the most likable person in the world. And I like how, like, again, it said it turned into a coffin, but it talks about how like great Danny was and everything. And it's just a good recounting of the experience and why they had to make some business decisions. So thank you and apologies to you, Joshua. Hopefully you are soon one of those 22% that sees some pickup and the world gets more GFR.
And now on to our playlist of curated songs to work to. You can head over to playlist.marketingoclock.com to listen to Marketing a Playlist. Julia, what will you be adding this week?
I'm adding Daylight by Harry Styles.
Oh, I thought it was going to be the Taylor Swift one.
Is that 3 in a
Maybe
row for you?
next week. One Direction, yes.
She's mourning.
I am. We still have 4 more to go.
I will be adding That's So True by Gracie Abrams.
I am going to be adding Happy Idiot by TV on the Radio.
Oh, aren't we all?
I might have already added
I
that.
think you have.
Whatever.
Whatever. All right, that does it for today's show.
It is now officially not Marketing O'Clock.
Thanks for listening.
We miss you already.
I can't wait to see you next week.
Thanks for listening to Marketing O'Clock. If you're looking for more information on today's topics, head over to marketingoclock.com/newsletter to receive every single article we covered. We share the news as it breaks in our Discord community. Head over to community.marketingoclock.com to join.
Welcome to this week's Shootin' the Heck. We're after our famous Friday news show. We don't talk about marketing anymore. We just
Shoot the heck.
And we are back at it with everyone's favorite game. What is it?
This week has been a lot, let's just say, depending on all the news and everything like that. So we're going to play trivia. And the trivia is, Julie, who did you vote for? No, no. The trivia is about cute little animals.
Okay. I don't know much about cute little
Okay.
animals.
So you can ring in with your name, and if nobody knows it, I will then give you multiple choice questions. Okay. So we're going to start with cute little animals trivia by saying, which animal's babies are born with a heart-shaped nose that is irresistibly cute?
Is it a dog?
Okay, here come the choices. Hedgehog, sea lion, piglet, baby seal.
I'm going to say hedgehog.
You got to ring in with your name.
Shep.
Shep.
Hedgehog.
Incorrect.
Julia.
Julia.
Seal.
Julia gets it.
Wow. I need to
Baby
look up a
seals,
picture.
also called pups, have adorable little heart-shaped noses that make them even cuter. The big round eyes only add to their charm. Which animal is known for its ability to laugh by making high-pitched, adorable sounds when they're happy? A, dolphin, B, hyena, C, chimpanzee, or D, a kookaburra?
I feel like all of them do.
Yeah. But hyenas just make that noise, I think. Julia. First one. What was it?
Okay, the dolphin. Incorrect.
yeah.
I'm going to go with the chimp.
Incorrect.
Oh.
Incorrect. Tables.
Hyena.
Incorrect.
Wow.
Next one gets it.
It's kookaburra.
Kookaburra.
What is that?
You have to ring it with their name.
Julia.
Julia. Julia got it. So the kookaburra is often called the laughing kookaburra, and it has a distinctive call that sounds like a laughing human.
Wait. Oh, my God. There's a song.
Their joyous calls add a little comedy to the forest, Shep.
Kookaburra sits in the older tree. You know that song.
No.
Julia is up 2. Shep has 1. Tables is not on the board yet. Next question. Which animal can sleep for up to 20 hours a day,
Oh,
making it one of the
Ooh.
sleepiest creatures on Earth?
sloth.
Incorrect. A, lion. B, koala. C,
What?
panda. D, sloth.
Tables.
Tables.
Koala.
Koala. Koalas can sleep up to 20 hours a day. They can
Whatever.
serve energy by taking long naps, and that's one of the reasons they're so cute.
I bet that sloths sleep more.
Yeah, literally.
This is just a cute little time, don't you think? I see. I just don't think Shep is going to think all these things are that cute,
Oh, no.
but it's fine. So next up, we're going to go with what animal is known for its adorable quote unquote smile that makes it look like it's always happy? A, dolphin. B, sloth. C, panda. D, sea otter.
Shep. Sloth.
Correct. Shep, you have 2. Sloths
Go
always
sloths.
look like they're in a good mood. Their relaxed facial muscles give them a permanently smiling look. Very
It's kind of
cute.
like me.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. And if Julia or Shep, you get this, you win the game. The cutest animal game. The game that we
Right.
need here in America.
That was like the first one I got right.
Okay. Which of these animals has the longest ears relative to its body size? A, rabbit. B, fennec fox. C, koala. D, elephant.
B. Julia. The fox.
Correct. Julia, you win the cutest animals game. The fennec fox has huge ears that help it stay cool in the desert heat. They're not just adorable, but they're super efficient.
There you go.
So, Julia, you're the winner.
Oh, these are cute guys.
See? Tables, make sure you get little pictures of these little cuties up for everybody out there. Okay.
Hope we brought some joy to your week.
This might actually be everybody's favorite game this week.
Yeah. We'll see you next week.
Settle in, sit back, keep it locked.